All right, boys. So Sentinels posted a video called The Harsh Truth of Becoming a Valorant Pro. Features tens in the thumbnail. I'm sort of curious what this is going to go into, but knowing knowing the Sentinels brand and how they do these videos could be pretty interesting. So let's get into it.
To me is consistently competing at the top.
It takes a lot of dedication, and I mean, it's pretty much becomes your lifestyle. You always need to be ahead of the others and be putting in more work, be efficient.
You're not only a cut above the rest, but you're also willing to dedicate those hours to become the best.
So that was like the definition of like professional gaming, I guess.
Sentinels are going to be America's kickoff champions! Congratulations to your Masters Madrid champions! Sentinels!
Bro, I remember watching this live. Holy, it was so fun. Man, I was so happy to see Tens win his second major. Man, that was a great event. Madrid, what an event. That final was so fun. Best of 5 went to map 5. Man, it was great. Zelsis just like screaming, "We want it more." Oh my god, it was so great.
I've been competing professionally since late 2021. It's like 3 years now.
This was John QD's first year, man. First year as a big IGL in tier 1. That's insane. He did so well for that. He did so well.
I want to say I've been chasing competition since I was like 13, 14. Professionally, I signed my first professional contract, I think, with C9 when I was like 19, 20. And
Damn, Zelsis is younger than I thought, I think. Because that was what, like 2 years ago, maybe?
and I'm 26 now. So
Wait, no,
I've
that
been
was
going
like-
for
yeah, it
a
was
long time,
Like
technically.
almost 2 years.
I'm on status.
Does he have any idea Trent's just on the other side? How has he done that? Zelsis! Now down to the 1v1, but he's getting flanked. Is he aware? Knife up!
Oh, what a pre-fire. Holy shit. That was such a nice pre-fire.
Zelsis! It's unbelievable!
Oh, dude, that was such a sick pre-fire.
Now down to the 1v1, but he's getting flanked. Is he aware? Knife
Oh, man, it's so sick.
up! Zelsis! It's unbelievable!
When you start out as just like a ranked player and you want to become like a pro player, it always helps to be like highly ranked, being in a top 10, top 20, and like just having your name out there.
There's also an aspect of networking and being able to either reach your brand out to the community, to
This is a New Jersey? Because I don't think they had the Red Bull logo before. This has to be a New Jersey.
other players, to teams, stuff like that.
Personally, when I came to NA, obviously like nobody knew me. I was in school, like I was studying engineering, but I still was like pretty good at the game. I was like top 10.
Damn, he was studying engineering? I had no idea about that. Damn, that's sick. Makes sense that he's an IGL now.
And I even like peaked rank 1.
So a lot of like rank
Really, John reached rank 1? I didn't know that. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I don't like follow the ranks like super heavy, so that might be why, but
players, you'll see that pro players like recognize them and stuff, and that's actually really good. That's kind of like where opportunities can come from. Like, let's say a team needed an emergency sub, and they're like, you know what, like I play with this guy in ranked sometimes, he's really good, let's bring him on for like this sub game, and you play really well in that sub match. That
yeah, for a sub game, but even for like a sub scrim, right? That could be like super helpful. Cause I know Gen G picked up Caron, and I almost called him Caron, and he was just plucked out of ranked. I know there's other players too. I don't have any other ones off the top of my head, but he's definitely one that was picked up from ranked.
it kind of opens up the door for you to play on your own team, like in tier 1, tier 2.
If you're really talented and kind of lucky, like you'll have very good performances out the gates, and obviously your name is going to be out there, then you're going to have trials, and like you're going to have contract discussions and stuff like that. But if you really do good, then you're going to get offers.
Yeah, I have LAN experience. You're a veteran. Yeah, I'm almost. Almost. Not as much as you. Yeah? Yeah. You've been playing like video games long.
Dude, it's so funny. So for those of you who aren't aware, dude, what's his name? I forget his handle there, but Sentinels picked him up. Oh, Redux. I think that's Redux, right? So Sentinels picked up Redux, and I mean, Zelsis has to be terrified because if he has a bad like couple of tournaments, Redux, as soon as he turns like 18, I think he's gonna take Zelsis's spot. So, oh man, I just think it's funny.
Longer than I.
But that's what being a pro is. It's like you're never, your spot is never well and truly safe unless you perform. That's any job, but it's so apparent in like pro like sports, Valorant, esports, like whatever it is. It's like your position on a team is like never safe. I think that's probably like one of the biggest complaints that players probably have is the amount of pressure that's on them constantly, and it just doesn't ever let up, right? Like it's just got to be terrifying to, man. Yeah.
I've been alive. All right, let's not focus on me. All right.
I think in my case, the hardest part for me from transitioning like to just a free agent player to then like a salary tier 2 player. At first, I was kind of worried about the risks because it's definitely a gamble to take. In my case, it was to like kind of put school on the side. Especially in my case, I was like 20.
I don't know. People say that it's like a huge gamble, but the way that I see this sort of stuff is school isn't really going to go anywhere. And your ability to go back and pick up the courses where you left off is like, it's not that difficult. Unless like he's financially struggling or his family is, then that's maybe a little bit more understandable, but even more worth it in that case to take the chance with an org like Sentinels, who is gonna pay him probably the best in the league. But it's like school isn't really gonna go anywhere. But your potential and talent as a player is, right? Because you can't, very few players would be able to join a pro team at 30. But I think John is maybe max like 25. And nothing is stopping him, even like at 27, 29, from like going back to school. So though it kind of is a big risk, I feel like it's almost a bigger risk not to jump on the opportunity and not to see where that can go. Even if it's like a short stint, even if it's like a year, 6 months or whatever, it's like at least you know that you tried it and you don't have any regrets. I think the biggest danger in life sort of is like having regrets. I think that's a giant danger that you can have, is just like being old and regretting having not taken chances and taken opportunities that could have potentially fulfilled you in much better ways than you end up being fulfilled by that point.
23, so like almost unheard of. Like usually people do that when they're like kind of 16, 17, 18. I really like believed in myself.
Yeah, I feel like Valorant's kind of older though. I think now we're getting a lot of younger players, but I especially when the game, in the first like couple of years of the game, it was a lot of like Overwatch pros, CS pros, like stuff like that. So there wasn't that many. And then also, I'm pretty sure you have to be 18 to be in tier 1, but you can be in tier 2 maybe starting at like 16, 17. So yeah.
A lot of times like people put a lot of pressure on them and kind of have like the imposter syndrome and be like, yeah, maybe I don't belong here. Like, I don't think I'm that good. Like, you really need to have like supreme confidence in yourself. Nobody's gonna give you that. Like, you need to like find that within yourself.
That jersey's really nice. I like this jersey a lot. I don't think they ever wore this jersey, right? Unless they wore it for champs, but I don't remember that. I'm pretty sure it was still like the red Sentinels jersey.
Confidence in yourself. Nobody's gonna give you that. Like, you need to like find that within yourself. That would like remove a lot of anxiety that new players have.
Time and time again regionally, Tens and Zekken locking down this position. And it kicks off with an ace.
Oh, this clip is so sick.
Versus hard work in like esports, it's more like if you're talented, you have
Dude, this was round 1. Was it of Madrid? I think this is their first match, round 1 of Madrid. I could be wrong.
Like you kind of have an early start compared to others. Your like skill floor is definitely higher than others, but it doesn't mean that like you still can chase that person with like hard work.
I truly believe that someone is, if they're hardworking, they're just going to learn more about the game and they're going to learn about more ways to outplay someone who is talented. Like I said, with people that feel like they're kind of hard stuck or they feel like they've capped out mechanically, like people, when they play against me, they could still play really well or even shit on me if they know how to play situations correctly or they're able to read my plays or just kind of counter me perfectly. So that's kind of like the level of the game where I do think hardworking individuals definitely have an advantage over people that are just plain talented.
One of the best ways to improve is watching a professional player like let's say I play Omen. I'm gonna go watching like a good Omen player.
Dude, Tens was an absolute highlight reel this year. He has so many iconic plays. I mean, last year, 2024 season. He has so many iconic clips from that, like, what? Like 9-month period? It's insane, bro. This guy was crazy.
On stream and kind of like copy how he plays and like how he deals in certain situations. I think there's like a lot of ways to improve and it's like a never-ending like cycle.
At a certain point, you understand, like for me, I understand that I just have to play to like keep my skills up. It's like drills for sports. Like that's the closest thing I can say. It's like LeBron James knows how to run up and down a court. He's been doing it for he's been doing it for 23 plus years. But guess what? He's still running up and down a court. Why? Because he has to. Like, it's just training. It's training. You have to look at esports just like sports. It's all training. So like, yeah, rank.
Nice shot, Zekin. Let's go.
May be terrible, and I complain about it all the time, and you can't complain about it, but like, you need to have an open mind with it. You need to grind it. You need to still play it. It's like, you can't get anywhere not playing the game.
My advice for people that want to be pro and they have other obligations is like, make sure to like really understand like if it's actually worth it or not for you to like chase it. If you are really like good and talented, even if you have a job or like school, you'll have enough time to like play and grind to like get those high ranks. For me, in my case, like I was in engineering school and I was still like doing fairly well in ranked. That's why like personally I was like, yeah, like if I'm not playing that much and I'm this good, like if I really like dedicated my time, like I could be like one of the best.
I would say it's pretty hard to go pro. Not only do you have to put in an absurd amount of hours, but you have to have the skill to back yourself up. And not only have skill, but then also have either leadership qualities within yourself, creativity, or just being able to be like a sponge where you absorb information and being able to turn that information into results.
Man, it's so sad. They got rid of Drew Spark. That's so unlucky. It's always hard to tell what's happening behind the scenes, right? Especially with coaches. But I felt like Drew was doing a great job. But I don't know what the fuck he was doing. So obviously, like, that's just from like the little interviews that I saw of him or how he presented himself in post-game interviews or whatever. But I felt that he was adding stuff to the team, but maybe they just felt that Cupert would just end up adding more, because I'm pretty sure that's who they replaced him with. Is it Cupert or is it someone else? I don't remember.
Be like a sponge where you absorb information and being able to turn that information into results.
If you're immortal or like below, you should not take the risk of like quitting your school and job. It really has to be like, if you're really like high radiant and you feel like you're playing like this tier 2, tier 3 tournaments and you're doing really well, then I feel like it is worth to take a gamble.
Oh, okay. His name was like Penguin before. I guess it's Gunter now. Is Cupert one of Sliggy's mods? How did I fuck that up so heavy? Jesus. I think Cupert is one of Sliggy's mods.
Gamble on yourself, or you really need to like see your options and the pros and cons and make a decision.
It's very hard to decipher what someone should do without me like knowing their like actual day to day. Let's say like 18 to 20 year old, and they're working a 9 to 5, and they're immortal, and they want to take like the next step. I would actually recommend them to work that 9 to 5 for like a year, keep going, trying, whatever, save up as much money as you can. This means you can't go spending all your money with your friends. Don't go blowing it all on a vacation. Don't go buying designer clothes. Like, you basically cut out all your like free time for the game, for esports, for like your craft. So I would say to like an 18 to 20 year old, I would say if you're in school, if you're working, I would say do that for a year. Maybe school is a little different. I would say if you're 18, like let's say you graduate high school and you want to pursue esports.
I think he's actually giving really good advice here. That's actually sort of what I did for music production. I sort of massively fucked up my career just because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and I still don't really know what I would be doing. But yeah, I mean, totally. Yeah, the advice here that Zelsis is giving is pretty much what I did for music production. And if I had known what I know now, there would have been a potential for it to maybe go well, but who knows? Things can happen. Things also can not happen.
Sports and you don't need money, I would say take a gap year from school to pursue esports.
My backup plan was just going back to school and finishing my degree. I tried to like convince myself I didn't have a backup plan, kinda, because it's important to be like, man, like I need to give it my all. Like,
yeah, it's definitely a big thing. You have to commit. You can't like be half in, half out, especially if you're on a tier 1 team. On a tier 1 team, definitely not, but I think if you're still like climbing ranks, you have a little bit more like leeway.
if I screw this, I'm done for. It is a very stressful thing to have in your mind, but really like it makes you like have a good discipline and pushes you to the edge. For me,
I think he's a bit extreme though, because I don't think you're done for. Like you're, because the thing with esports is it's either way, it's temporary. You might be able to find work like relative to the industry, right? Or in proximity to the industry. You could be a streamer, you could be a caster, you could be a coach, could be I don't know, there's tons of, I mean, you could be analyst, you could be observer. Like there's tons of other careers within the esports industry that you can do afterwards, and you still have school. So I don't know if it's just a thing where he's convincing himself that he's fucked so that he works harder to keep it, to maintain his status and employment as a tier 1 professional player, right? Maybe that's the sort of thing that's happening, but I think that especially on a team like Sentinels, you're really not fucked if it all like goes away kind of thing, right? I mean, assuming that you're not spending all your money, you should have enough money to at least pay for like a few semesters of school and potentially your entire schooling, depending on how well you maintained your financial situation. But yeah.
for me, I think it really depends on the personality and how maybe people that have backup plans are like stress-free and will perform better, and some others need to be pushed. So it really depends, but...
Okay, yeah, he did elaborate. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a fair take. That's sort of what I was getting at too.
But it's always good to...
I don't know if I worded it pretty like well or not, but yeah. Well, I insinuated it. Anyways.
have one, for sure.
Bro, the thing is, because I know what happens when I slide. Oh, fuck it.
I would say players need to build their brand before they're even winning. Like, when I was in intermediate open, I was streaming to like 3 people. Me, myself, and I. But no, that's obviously, yeah. But I was streaming to like...
Celsius was streaming to 3 people. That's kind of insane. But I mean, you all have to start somewhere. But even like 3 viewers when you're starting out is not bad. Because streaming nowadays is like super oversaturated. And most people don't like watch the big streamer and don't care. That's pretty much like most people. I mean, it's me. Like, I don't go down and like scroll. Like, I'll go to Twitch, category that I want, and then pretty much like top 3 is who I'm gonna watch.
Like 3 people, and I was like putting my Twitch name in my name on Steam, because you could change your name on Steam. I was posting on ESEA forums that I was live, like, and eventually I got to like, let's say 20 viewers, 50 viewers, 100 viewers, 200 viewers, and I would just keep streaming consistent, and stream. It is a little bit of luck. Like, you have to just do it and hope you hit.
It's important, like, also to...
I'm surprised he wasn't posting YouTube videos, because that's sort of the big advice. But this could be, like, this could be back when he was in CS, because I'm pretty sure... I don't know if Zelsis was pro in CS. I don't remember. Maybe he was. But if it was CS days, YouTube might not have been super known as, like, a giant, like, brand builder, I guess, for, like, streaming.
Win, because winning is the best brand. People tend to like want to watch the best players more than just average players.
Oh yeah.
Unless you really have like a unique personality and like you're very different on stream. You're just like a good content creator.
I honestly think that unless you're someone like Tens, Aspas, Demon One, you know, these like giant names that are gonna get giant bidding wars for themselves, if you can be a good content creator, you're going to make so much more money doing that than you ever will being a pro, even if you win pretty much every single event. But you do give up that, you know, competitive aspect, right? But I do think there is a pretty good reason why Tarek never went back to professional play after he left CS and joined Valorant, because he's probably good enough for it. You know, like, I'm pretty sure he's reached rank 1 multiple times. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he has. So it's like he's definitely not washed. He's still good at the game. But I think the fact that, like, Tarek chooses to stream and not become a pro, I mean, I think it says a lot.
I think esports is a beautiful thing. I think it brings people all around the world, just like sports. I think it is an amazing thing to do, because, like, my family, a lot of them have never even left the States. To be able to like go to as many countries as I have and fly as many times as I have and like seen the world like at such a young age, like that is insane to think about. 90% of the human race doesn't get to do that. So us being able to do that, especially in like our job, is like, that is insane. So I think like if you want it, you'll chase it and you'll get it. What wanted me to keep pursuing esports was like, I knew I could do it.
I mean, that's the mindset you absolutely have to have, because you are competing with other people who, if you don't think like that, they're going to think like that. And in those like big moments, those pressure situations, that could make a giant difference. Just thinking that you can do it, you can win this clutch, you can win this fight, you can take this duel. Like, that just goes such a long way.
You know, like I knew I could get to, I guess, where I am now. If I didn't tap that potential, then I would have regretted that the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think that's a giant thing too. Like, John talked about the risk, but I think there's a bigger risk in regret than there is to take a chance. Assuming that the chance isn't like, if I jump off this bridge, will I survive? Like, obviously don't fucking jump. But if it's something reasonable, then yeah. Like, I think the danger for risk is higher than the danger for failure, in a sense. As long as it's not catastrophic failure or irreparable failure.
If you want it, you'll chase it and you'll get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally okay not to get it also, right? If you give it your all, but it doesn't work out, that's fine too, right? I think that it's easy to look at success stories and think, man, this is so beautiful. This is so great. They achieved their dream. They're living on cloud 9. But there's a lot of players who have given it their all, failed, and go on to live the rest of their lives perfectly happy, knowing that they gave it their all, and that was kind of that, right? And that's sort of how I feel with music in a lot of ways. Is I had this dream to do this thing, right? It was like music production, DJ, whatever. And the more I found out about it, the more I realized that the job as a whole just kind of wasn't for me, right? I don't like traveling. I like being at home a lot. And if I was to be like a DJ / like music producer and play these festivals, play these shows, I'd have to be away from home so much more than I would ever be okay with. And so eventually the dream sort of fell apart because I realized that it wasn't actually what I wanted, and it wasn't actually what would be the best for me and my life. So sometimes failing is fine, and it's actually better. It's a bit like weird to say that failure can be better than succeeding, but I think, at least, maybe I'm coping, but at least in my case, I think failing was actually the correct thing to happen. Like the best thing to happen, really.
They're taking us. I can't.
Because I still get to make music and enjoy that part. Like that part doesn't go away. Like I can just pull up my computer and make music whenever the hell I want. And I can share it with my friends, the world, other DJs in the industry, and they can play them out for me and stuff like that. And I can play local shows still. So it's like I get all the benefits. I didn't really lose anything by failing. But by failing, I realized that I didn't even really want it in the first place, but I had to sort of fail to know that.
I'm sorry, they need us for interviews. I hope this video actually helps those who are actually aspiring to become pro players.
Any person who wants to be pro, or even like the casual viewer fan that is.
I mean, dude, like being a pro is like, it's insane. Like, I'm gonna be honest. There's a reason why so many people watch like esports teams, and it's because of the amount of sacrifice that we all know these players have to make, be it on their health, which some of it can be avoided, but a lot of them sort of don't, right? But be it on like traveling halfway across the world for a month and a half to play in this tournament, to, I don't know, potentially even get first rounded at like lock-in, right? Like Sentinels had that happen like 2 years ago. They go to lock-in, they get a bad draw, they play against Fnatic, who is insane that year, won 2 out of the 3 events, and just go home. It's like, GG. What can you do, right?
Just curious about esports. I really hope this video gives you some insight.
Just through us talking through our experiences trying to become a pro player, actually becoming a pro player, and kind of living the life, I do hope that you're actually able to learn something through this video. So hope you enjoyed it, and peace out.
Hey, shout out Tens, my GOAT. Sort of sad that he retired, but hey, we have a lot of good memories with him, some good highlights to go back and look at. But yeah, I think this was maybe one of the best Sentinels video that I've ever seen. I'm gonna be honest, they always have very good production quality, sound, the videos look incredibly pretty, but in terms of like material and subject matter, I think this was the best Sentinels video that I've ever seen. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, because I really did enjoy this. I find it fascinating to be able to explore topics like this of professional players kind of opening up about their journey and their lives and their sort of like thoughts on their careers as a whole and stuff like that. I think that's pretty sick. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one, boys. Later.